I'm trying to go and log into YouTube, so it may take me a second to actually answer the comments.
I mean, that's cool.
God damn it.
All right, cool. Get that out the way. We're live now.
I can still say the D word.
You don't need to say any words, except for the words I tell you. Except for the words I tell you to.
Yeah, let me know how that works out for you.
I mean, we're gonna try it today and see what happens.
I have a few words for you.
I don't want them. Same for somebody else. What's up, Internet World, with News 19 Nerds in a different format today, a little bit, kind of going on for Press Play. I'm Michael.
I'm Leroy.
There's no way there's that delay when you talk. Leroy joins us from his lair as he plots his evil machinations. So what's going on with you, sir?
Man, what's the email? What's the password for our YouTube account?
Yeah, that's not gonna work. You
don't give me that either.
I mean, not talking it out. No.
Oh, okay. That was a test.
Oh, okay. Did I pass?
Yeah, it was testing our internet security.
Okay, cool. Great.
Making sure Dark Side didn't get us.
Okay, appreciate that.
Gotta keep your head on the swivel.
Okay. Cool. Okay, we got people coming in. Brett Warren says he's rocking with your Wu-Tang shirt.
Yep, I just answered him.
Okay.
So what's the delay? Is the delay like 1 second, 2 second?
I mean, there isn't any delay at all, really. As you talk,
Okay.
you respond pretty
All right.
quickly.
All right, let's do this.
Yeah, great. So you want to do another recount and start the show over again, or we just keep going?
No, I keep going.
Okay.
Why do we need a recount?
I don't know, man. Yeah. So what are we talking about tonight?
You tell us. I'm along for the ride, man.
You along for the ride. So we promised you guys last week that we would have a press play this week. Leroy and I forgot that he was going to be off on the day we promised to have a press play. So, you sir?
I didn't forget that I was going to be off. I did forget to remind you when you said we would be here Friday. I believe that's on you.
I don't know how to respond to that you didn't tell me you weren't going to be here.
I mean, you knew I wasn't going to be here.
I didn't.
Ah.
It doesn't matter.
Let's agree to disagree.
It doesn't matter. That's fine. We're going to talk about some nerd stuff on this Friday night to get you guys through the weekend and get us through the weekend as well. We're talking a little bit about Fable's returning. Bill Willingham coming back to write his book, Fables, that everybody loved. And it's going to start with, I guess, a 6-issue mini-series of Batman and Bigby, the wolf of Fables. The big bad wolf coming in to kind of wreck shop in Gotham City.
I'm going to let you start, because this was your story idea. You let me know what you think, because you actually like Fables. You actually read Fables.
No. I don't read Fables.
I thought you did.
No, my girlfriend reads Fables.
Ah.
Yes. I played the video game. I played Wolf Among Us. I really enjoyed that, but I don't read Fables personally.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Wolf Among Us, which did have Bigby and some other characters in it.
You know what's funny?
What?
I didn't even realize that was a Fables game.
I think it says Fables, the Wolf Among Us as the title.
I just know it. I just know. So, full disclaimer. As a comic fan and a comic nerd, you can see my comics there, and there's some more over here. There's a whole shelf over there. I have not read one issue of Fables. I respect the title. You know what? Let me take that back. I have read an issue. I don't own any issues of Fable. But I like the series. I like what they did with it.
Uh-huh.
So it's interesting that they're going to put Batman in it, but I'm going to be honest with you, Batman's in everything, so it doesn't surprise me that they're bringing it back and they're like, "Oh, Batman's going to be in it."
I mean, it's like he's one of the most popular characters. Put him in everything, drive up revenue, right?
Is he the most popular character though?
No. I said one of. I didn't say the most. I said one of the most.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like that's easy to say. He's definitely one of the most popular characters in DC.
Yeah.
You guys always talk about the Trinity. He's one of them, so it's got to be popular, right?
Yeah, he's definitely one of the Trinity. I just, how do I say this without pissing people off? Your girlfriend included. Um, and it's so weird looking at this monitor because I have the laptop up right here where I can see and answer comments and stuff. But on this monitor, all I see is your stomach.
I know. I love it.
Like you should at least like had like a smiley face like on your stomach, like eyes here and like a smiley face. So at least it looked like I was talking to somebody.
Yeah.
Um, this is not going to get me to read Fables.
What would
Like,
get you to read
don't get me
Fables?
wrong. I like that Fables is coming back because I like comics that may not be for me, and I'm all for comics that for everybody. I feel like this is the wrong way to do it because the whole time we've been talking, and as much as I like Batman, everything DC does is centered around Batman. And that's the wrong thing to do, in my opinion. If
You've talked about this
strong-
before in other
Say
press
what?
play in other press plays. You've talked about this before about sometimes you feel like DC isn't doing the right. They're not necessarily doing what you think would bring more people in. They're kind of maybe, I don't know if it's playing it safe because they feel like Batman is a known commodity, so they're using him more. But you talked about them maybe using Batman too much, and they have such a wide roster of characters.
Ken from Chicago says it. How many TV Batman shows have there been? Movies, video games? I'm gonna be honest with you. It's got to be in the hundreds. I mean, when you think about the character Batman, how many properties he's been in, it's got to be in the hundreds.
Sure.
And I like the fact that Fables is coming back because again, I like the fact that Fables is a property that alternative comic fans or just different people can get into it. Bringing Batman into Fables is the wrong move. It's almost like when people complained about DC putting Harley Quinn and everything, or Marvel putting Wolverine and Deadpool and everything. This is the same thing.
Okay.
And I'm quite sure it's going to be a good story, or at least it's going to be one of those things where I think it's probably going to sell, it's going to make a little bit of money. But is it going to be? To me, what would be better? A better story? Batman and Fables or John Constantine? Batman and Fables or bringing, somebody else like Detective Chimp, Elongated Man. Like that universe is so interesting and so weird. Why bring in your biggest mainstream character? And as I say this, I know it's going to sound stupid, but we've seen Batman do everything. Batman Turtles, Batman Ninja.
I was going to ask you, did you read Batman Turtles? I mean, I read it because it was Turtles and I enjoyed it, but again, I don't.
It wasn't bad. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I don't read everything Batman, so.
I mean, it was actually pretty good, and for me, that fits. It's a mini series. It works because they're ninjas. He was trained as a ninja. They have weird villains. He has weird villains. I'm okay with that. But come on, man.
And this,
Batman and Fables,
well, to be fair, this is only a miniseries too. It's only supposed to be 6 episodes or 6 issues.
True, but again, it's one of those things where it's like, how much Batman do we need in these comics? And I say this,
Right.
I can tell.
If you guys can't tell, because I know it's bad bit quality, but Leroy just put up a Batman figure, so yeah.
It's Batman, Flashpoint. I want to stand up, but I don't want y'all to see my stomach. But hold on. I'm a fan. I like Batman. I love Batman. I understand what I'm what I'm saying. But my problem is, I feel like it's wrong when you put him everywhere. It kind of dilutes it.
Sure.
And Batman is supposed to be this mysterious, dark character who I feel like we've shined a flashlight on him, and we might as well let Batman walk around in the daytime. So
That's interesting. So you feel like overall Batman has just been used too much. I think somebody else kind of echoed those. A couple people in the comments are kind of saying that too. Batman's been used too much.
yeah, I mean it's one of those things. Like honestly, what would it be like if Wonder Woman went into Fables? Like really, you're missing a perfect opportunity. A magic wonderland full of weird creatures, and you have Diana, who is a creature made out of clay. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Subsequently made real, all yada yada yada. You could have had Nubia in there, Artemis, Diana Troy. You could have had the whole Wonder Woman sister gang in there, and you went with Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like Batman's in Fortnite.
But a lot of DC stuff is in Fortnite now.
True, but what I'm saying is like there's a Fortnite comic right now out, and the big draw is Batman versus Snake Eyes, and I'm like,
oh, in a Fortnite comic.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so there's a 4-issue miniseries of Fortnite that Fortnite Zero Point that has DC characters in it, and there's also like if you buy all 4 issues, there's like codes so you can get different things in Fortnite. Which again, it's a great cash grab. Marvel did it, screwed up. DC seems to have learned from Marvel's mistakes and is doing a better job of it. But I still feel like Fables is good on its own, and I say that, and I'm not even like a real big fan. I just say let Fables do its own thing, let it come back. And Batman, really, like the brain trust over at Warner Brothers and DC was like, you know what Fables needs after it's been running for so long and it got a video game? Batman.
Well, I mean, you say that almost like you're surprised. To me, that I wouldn't expect anything less from Warner Brothers. They're not necessarily known for making the best decisions overall. Like this seems to be right in line with it.
I do not disagree with any of the words you just said.
Yeah.
Because they seem to see like, and again, I'm not running a company, so it's not my money on the line. And I get it. When you run a company, you're trying to make, what can I do that costs me the less, that makes the most money? And that is Batman. Put him in everything. So I'm quite sure it's going to sell. It's going to, make a couple of dollars for them, and then they'll, move on with other things. But I guess I'm looking for, is it a good story? Not necessarily is it going to be critically acclaimed, but is it something that you're going to go back and be like, yo, do you remember when this happened?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember Identity Crisis, when the whole thing was a crime happened, they mind wiped all the heroes, and a small group of heroes knew exactly what had happened, and those sins that were committed came back to bite them. And they mind wiped Batman, and he's pissed. Like, say what you will about Identity Crisis and the whole idea behind the crux of it, but that to me was a great little nugget that kind of went on later on through other issues, where it was like Batman didn't trust a lot of people because he was like, heroes mind wipe me. They jump me and they mind wipe me. They took a piece of my memory out of my head. That was great. Like, that fit. I just don't think this fits. And that's just me.
Okay. Well, like we said, a lot of people are kind of... Baby Toshiro says Batman vs. Snake Eye, pass. Interesting.
I see that.
Ken from Chicago also says, and kind of mirroring what a bunch of people are saying, DC wants that Batman money will bring every last penny out of him until he is dead, buried, exhumed, clones, rebooted, resetted, sequeled, and reimagined, and rebooted yet again.
Reanimated, reincarnated, you name it. They're like their entire last couple of series with Batman Death Metal has been centered around Batman.
So here's a question, and you may not know the answer. You say that you're tired of Batman because he's in everything. Is Batman making them the most money? Do you know?
I don't know. But this is the
thing. There's got to be a reason they're doing it, right?
Well, Batman has the Bat family has the most core titles.
Okay.
So right now, and again, I say this, and I am a fan. I every month I get now. I've gone back to get Detective Comics. I get, and I am part of the problem. I can say that I am part of the problem. Katie can tell you I buy too much comics. Every month I buy Batman. I've gone back and picked up Detective Comics because Dan Mora is drawing the art. James Tinian is the writer. There's Batman Urban Legends, which is a 4-issue miniseries. I picked that up. Batman Detective, where Batman goes to London. I picked that up. I'm trying to think of what else. There's a couple other books that I picked up that I was like, I'm not feeling that. But those are 4 titles. Oh, and Joker. I've been reading Joker, where Joker escaped from Arkham. Supposedly he killed, what's his name?
Robin?
No. He's Bane. He killed Bane, and Commissioner Gordon is being paid to track down Joker and kill him. So there's 4 issues of that out right now. I've read the first 2. It's actually pretty interesting. I actually enjoy the Batman family. He's one of my favorite characters. But I pick up other books as well. Far Sector. I just picked up an issue, started to get back into Action Comics. Superman's going to team up with the Authority. I picked that up. The Other History of the DC Universe by John Ridley. I'm trying to think of what else. Strange Adventures from Tom King and Mitch Geralds. So there's other titles out there that I think that are worthy that I pick up just personally.
Okay.
That I would actually like to see them push to the forefront. I'm reading Justice League again. Like, I picked up Justice League. They have rounded out they're actually adding new members. Black Adam is joining Justice League along with Oliver Queen, Black Canary, and Naomi is on the Justice League. Hippolyta is supposed to be joining Justice League as well. So I think there are other characters who should get the shine, who should get the come up over Batman. Like, he's had his chance.
Okay.
They're not getting rid of him. Like, give some other people some shine, you know?
Okay.
I wish they put the amount of energy they put into Batman, into Wonder Woman, Superman. And again, I understand, like me and you were talking about the Blue Beetle movie. And I was like, oh man, it's going to streaming. It's not getting a wide release. And you were like, good. Who cares about Blue Beetle? And I'm like, nobody cared about the Guardians until they elevated them. Nobody cared about. So I kind of want to see more people get that shine and get that opportunity, that Batman, that Bruce Wayne. Plus, I mean, he's a white billionaire. He good.
Okay.
He not missing no meals.
Fair enough. Where's Katie at in relation to this? I see her texting or writing in the chat.
She said something to Breck Warren. I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where she is in your house in relation to you now.
She's in the living room.
Okay.
Watching In the Heights.
Oh man,
I
can't wait to watch In the Heights. I'm excited.
So we were watching it earlier, and the kid is not feeling good, so we were trying to take care of him. And then it started thunderstorming, and then the dog started freaking out. So I had to drug her with some peanut butter and pills, and so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
cool.
where we are right now.
All right. Cool. All right. That's pretty much it for Batman and Bigby and Fables. Mm-hmm. We're excited for Fables to come back. Maybe Batman could be put on the sideline, let somebody else kind of come in. And it seems like a lot of people are. Nope. It's funny. As we said all these things, most people pretty much agreed. Nobody was like, "No, we need more Batman." So that could be a pretty big sentiment in at least in the people that follow us. Kind of agree with that same thing of we've seen enough Batman. Next topic, and we're kind of moving a little quick, guys, because this will be a shorter press play tonight. I mentioned it in the Instagram post, but Leroy's out, and we don't have a lot of people working tonight at the station itself, so I'm pulling some extra hats, more so than usual. So we got to cut this short so I can finish up.
I heard y'all directors missing a hand or something.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Nobody's missing a hand.
I'm not sitting next to you, so you can't control me. I can't be contained.
I see that. Nobody's missing a hand, but yeah, we're just down people. So we were going to talk a little bit about E3, pre E3, whatever you want to call it. E3 has, I guess, officially started because we haven't had the big three press conferences, but we've had some other press conferences thanks to Jeff Keighley, friend of the show, Jeff Keighley, doing his second annual Summer Games Fest. That was yesterday. It was about 90 minutes of a couple of different previews of games coming out. Had some developers in there. Had his boy Kojima in there. You know he's going to talk to Kojima. He loves Kojima. You said you didn't see any of it yet.
One thing I did watch was supposedly there's a director's cut coming to PS5 for Death Stranding.
That is true. Yep.
I watched that.
Okay. Did you see Kojima talk about 9/11 and the pandemic?
No, I did not see that.
It was interesting. His thoughts were interesting.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not
Where
like
he talks about.
I'm not bashing it either way. I was just like, oh, interesting. Okay.
Does he talk about how he kind of foresaw?
Yes.
So he said that before. Me and you have talked about this.
Okay.
Not here. I wish we had talked about it. We really should have done like a Death Stranding like review, I guess, because you gave up. You were like, I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah.
I finished it. I may never play the game again. Depends on this director's cut. I did get it for Christmas. I'm not gonna lie to you. That game is brilliant. If you can get past the tedious obstacles in it, but when you think about the tedious obstacles, it makes sense. Kojima, he might be a tad genius.
Don't you do this.
I have come full circle on Death Stranding. And I gotta give you, it still sits with me, the game itself.
Okay.
So I have to go back and look at his comments. But back to what you were saying, I only watched the Death Stranding director's cut, Battlefield 2042, and somebody on our Facebook page, I want to say it was Warren Scott. I'm trying to remember the gentleman's name, but basically he called it. He was like, they're going to show Battlefield, and sure enough, the next day they showed Battlefield.
And now you got to fight. You got to fight the weather.
Say what?
Now you got to fight the weather in Battlefield. In addition to fighting people, now you're fighting hurricanes and blizzards and all kinds of stuff.
So I really want to know more about this game because there's no campaign. It's just multiplayer.
Yep.
And it's at least going to be $60, $70, and we've talked about that part of it. My question is, are they fighting the weather because someone's manipulating it? Or are they fighting the weather because of climate change?
So they have said this game isn't about climate change. It just happens to be crazy events that are happening. That's what they said. We'll have to see the actual game to see more about it. But they said, yeah, it's not necessarily a statement about climate change or anything. They just thought it would be a cool idea for a game where you're fighting really crazy weather. And they've set a precedent before. One of the Battlefield games, I can't remember which one it was, but they had this thing like action events where things would happen in the level that would change how the level plays like halfway through. I remember that. It was a few Battlefields ago. That was a big thing about, this level was one way, then something happens and now it changes. I remember that being a big thing. So they kind of set a precedent for this before.
So Kim from Chicago says, company denies its social commentary, which is interesting. All these games that are literally definitions of social commentary, like the Far Cry games, and they're not political, and it's like, are you serious? Like,
well, you see they had a back and forth on that, right? One guy said it wasn't political, and then the guy's like, it is political, but it's not about it's like warring ideas.
Really, come on,
yeah.
Like, where's I guess the problem that I have with these companies and these developers, we know that they're smart people because you have to be smart to build these worlds. I think some of the smartest people ever have to be the developers and the writers behind Assassin's Creed. The games themselves, to combine history the way that they do, they have to be intelligent.
Sure.
They have to be scholarly people. Assassin's Creed Revelations is one of my favorite games of all time, just for the fact of the Byzantine Empire that they put into a game that made you want to go look this up.
Sure.
Assassin's Creed Origins with Bayek and Egypt, and just looking at how they were able to go back and get so many things right.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope with this next generation of gaming, let's stop being jerks. I guess that's the word I want to use, and stop trying to like dumb stuff down. That like we can't have political commentary in video games. Call of Duty is literally an ad for war. Like,
Yeah.
don't tell me that's not political. The Cold War games, like those are literally retelling the Cold War, not war. So I have a little problem with that.
So
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, no, you're good. I mean, we're kind of just jumping around the different things. I don't even know what to bring up to you because you haven't seen it, so it doesn't mean anything. Did you ever play the Payday games?
I did not, but I saw Payday 3's coming back and
Painkiller.
Painkiller's coming back.
Yeah, Painkiller was kind of big because it wasn't the first game, but it was kind of the game that really popularized this idea of it was a first-person shooter, I think, and you would really fight these big, massive enemies that would take up a lot of the real estate on the screen. Again, probably not the first game to do it, but that really brought popularity to the idea of fighting these huge, massive characters in it. So we'll see what the new Painkillers are going to be. Both of those games.
Question.
Yeah.
When you mean takes up the real estate, do you mean like in Shadow of Colossus, take up real estate?
Yeah, more or less. I mean, like you compared to the boss, like the character that you're fighting is gigantic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Both of those games were all under the same umbrella of Prime Matter, which I think is the new publishing arm of Koch Media.
And that's KOCH?
Yes. The rich billionaires that own all the other Koch stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now they got a game publishing arm, and some of the games they have seem interesting. I just remember, I think it was interesting you pointed those two out because those are both under the Prime Matter brand.
So I did not see the actual clip. So there's so much this morning I meant to watch, but I got a little caught up.
You got a life, man. You off. It's all good.
Well, I mean, I was trying to watch it, and I watched some of the stuff. So the Elden Ring stuff came up, and I was like, "Oh, they got a trailer," and I just couldn't get back to it. So like, Masters of the Universe the trailer came out, and everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, it looks amazing!" And
there's a Witcher teaser out too. I think there's a Witcher.
Say what?
I think there's a season 2 of Witcher teaser trailer.
Well, we talked about this last week. Netflix is doing a week of Netflix. They announced, so they had interviews with the cast from Cowboy Bebop.
Okay.
They released episode counts for Umbrella Academy. It's very interesting. All these different franchises coming together for this week, which is pretty amazing when you think about it.
Ryan Porter says, anybody expecting something good from Nintendo? I need a new Metroid game. Ryan Porter, I'm always expecting good things from Nintendo. I'm a Nintendo fanboy. Love them all the time, no matter what, and they get me to buy Mario all the time. So I'm expecting we might see a teaser video for Metroid Prime 4, maybe. Other than that, maybe we'll see Breath of the Wild 2, more footage, and maybe a release date for next year sometime. I don't know.
I'm going to say no to all of that.
Oh, I hate you.
I'm just saying because the only thing I could think them saying, because I want them to give me the specs on their upgraded Switch.
The thing that everybody seems to be real, but Nintendo won't talk about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems so. To me, it's weird that they haven't talked about it yet, but it's kind of the same way with Xbox. When Xbox Series X they were talking about that, and then they had a smaller, less powerful Series S that Xbox never wanted to, or Microsoft never wanted to talk about until a few months before it was released. So I don't know.
I guess my question to Nintendo would be, are you holding off on announcing this next console only because you're trying to not divert attention from your console that's out now that's selling gangbusters, that is literally everywhere, but you have to get into this game of, I don't want to say between the big two of Microsoft and Sony, but you got to get the word out. Like, Christmas is right around the corner when it comes to consoles.
Sure.
You got to get, like, you have to get the word out that you have a new console coming out, upgrade, I want to see what it is because I did not buy a Switch. Actually, me and Katie were looking to buy a Switch for each other, and we just never got around to it because they kept selling out. I will buy an updated Switch.
It's interesting you talk about them. Go ahead.
I would probably buy an updated Switch before I buy the new Xbox Series X.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's, as much as I crap on Nintendo for their business practices, selling Mario over and over again, my wife loves the Mario games. She loves Mario Kart. I have never beaten her ever in Mario Kart. She was the reason why I bought a Nintendo Mini. So I'm going to be honest with you. As much as I want to place a lot of that stuff on Xbox Series X, I can wait to get an upgraded Xbox. I want to get a Switch because I know it's something both of us would play.
Brian Gamer, yes, I do have a Switch. Yes, love my Switch, play it all the time. When it first came out, I want to say I might have talked about it. How long have we been doing Press Play?
You and Shauna were the first people who were like Switch.
Yeah.
Definite.
In some of our older videos from years ago, we were definitely, or at least I was hyping up the Switch. Yeah, I love my Switch. Play it all the time. One of the games that got announced during Jeff Keighley Summer Games Fest is 2 Point Campus, which is a spinoff from 2 Point Hospital. Shameless plug. Last year, the year before, Leroy and I talked about our top games of 2020. Must have been last year then. And one of my games was 2 Point Hospital, which I really enjoyed. So now there's a spinoff coming called 2 Point Campus, which is kind of the same scenario, but instead of working in a hospital, you're working at a university. And that's coming to Switch, so I can't wait to pick that up next year.
Yeah, man, you know what's sad?
What's that?
I just put in the chat, never beat her in Mario Kart, and I spelled kart with a C instead of a K.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Bank 757, you're right, I have never beat my wife in Mario Kart. If we plugged up the 64 right now and played Mario Kart, still wouldn't win. So yeah, I'm excited to see what Nintendo does because as much as I crap on Nintendo, you have to hand it to them. They keep themselves relevant with their IP.
Sure.
And not even having the same graphic processing power that the big two have.
Mm-hmm.
But still have a dedicated fan base who will come out in droves. They're almost like Apple in the anti-Apple way, where
sure.
Apple's always upgrading and you want the next best thing, where Nintendo's like, we're not the next best thing. We will keep selling you all this old crap and you keep buying it.
Yeah, and it goes back to something we talked about before. Art direction can get you very far, even though the games don't look as maybe not as intensive. Graphically intensive with all the polygons and stuff. Art direction go a long way. We talked about Mario Kart. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on Switch still looks incredible. That game is a beautiful looking game that came out 2015 or something on the Wii, and they upgraded it, or Wii U, and then upgraded it for the Switch. And then Breath of the Wild still looks great.
That's what I'm saying. Look at Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is another thing too. Even though the Switch may not be as fast as the PS5, it may not be as fast as an Xbox Series X Black, whatever Porsche edition that they're going to release later on. You can still get massively fun games. Like, so right now, what do we just see? We see Crysis is coming to the Switch. We saw The Witcher 3 came to the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not the same, but you're still getting great games.
Yeah.
From a generation ago.
On the go.
There you go.
Yeah.
The one thing Stadia couldn't do. You see Stadia's $50 right now?
Are you trying to hype me up?
I'm not saying that to like, but it's $50 right now.
Uh-huh.
With the controller, and you get the Ultra Chromecast.
That's cool.
Chromecast.
Yeah.
Which is normally $70.
Yeah.
So I may got an extra $50 I can go because that Chromecast Ultra.
Yeah.
that goes in the bedroom. I mean, Stadia's got a couple of free games I can play. I'm going on vacation next week, so. So you've been most excited about E3. What has been your?
So
what have you been?
For me, I'm still what I'm anticipating. I want to see what Square Enix has. They have a press conference, I think, the same day as Bethesda's and Microsoft, which is on Sunday. I think they're on the same day, later in the day. Mm-hmm. I'm curious what they're working on because I'm hoping we're going to get some type of update on Avengers. My Avengers people who are in the chat, did you guys play the Red Room event? I enjoyed it. It was cool, but again, it lasted for a few days and I was kind of done with it. I played it. I got the power-ups. I got the nameplate and everything. But I want to see more. I was
looking for the game. I thought I had it on the shelf behind me.
I want to see more from Wakanda because that's supposed to be a really big expansion. So I want to see exactly what that means. And honestly, as somebody who does enjoy the Avengers game, I can admit that it's flawed. But I have enjoyed the time I played with it. I feel like I've gotten my money's worth out of it, and I kind of pick it up every once in a while. If I could see Wakanda and see what's past Wakanda, like are more characters coming? Or are you guys just going to call it quits? I feel like they put so much money. I feel like they put so much money in. Yeah, they put so much money into it. They can't call it quits, but I don't know what you do.
Spider-Man's not out yet.
That's true. That's probably some contract thing. They probably have to get Spider-Man out.
They can't kill it.
Yeah.
Now after Spider-Man, count your ducats.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah.
But Spider-Man's not out yet, and that was an exclusive to Sony that pissed a lot of people off. So they got to get their money out of that.
Okay. People are talking about Starpoint. So beyond Square Enix, I'm also looking forward to. So Sony has.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Time out.
Yeah.
Is Starpoint different than Starfield? Because Brian Gamer said Starpoint, and then Ken from Chicago and.
Brian Gamer came back and said Starfield, so he meant Starfield.
Okay, yeah, Starfield. So that's from the Bethesda company.
Yeah.
The space game that nobody has seen that everybody thinks is going to be gangbusters. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I want to see Starfield from Microsoft and Bethesda, and I'm curious to see more of what Microsoft has because we've kind of talked about it before. Microsoft has so many studios, but those games are probably 3 or 4 years away. Hopefully, we're going to see some trailers now because Sony's still in the driver's seat. They probably should be worried maybe a little bit about Microsoft with all the studios they have, but Sony, as of now, Sony still is in the lead because they have the proven commodities. We're just hoping Microsoft can compete. What you pulling out?
So let's look at here. So this is what Microsoft has to compete with.
Yeah.
1, 2,
mm-hmm.
and past generation games.
Sure. Yeah. And so we know we're getting that new God of War next year too, or supposedly next year.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that. I've come full circle a little bit. And realized that Microsoft in the past may not have had the first party titles, but with the acquisition of ZeniMax, I'm really interested to see what these studios are going to cook up. I personally am excited about Starfield, even though I know nothing beyond what was leaked.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the stills we saw, if that was even from the game.
Right.
I want to see what it is because that's a genre I think Mass Effect set the bar for, and we cannot. If we're going to go forward in gaming, if this genre is going to move forward, you can't have one game speak for an entire genre, like an entire space exploration and adventure games /RPG cannot be distilled to one game, one franchise.
Sure.
So it's good to see somebody else stepping into that and saying, hey, here's another game that to wet your beak with, that hopefully will move some units that will cause Sony to get off their laurels.
And a game, an announcement that I hope is going to come. Supposedly Ed Boon, who created Mortal Kombat and runs NetherRealm Studios now, he's really good about trolling people on Twitter about different guest characters and they're coming true. There's a rumor that Ed Boon and his team are working on a Marvel versus DC game. That would be wild if it's true. That would be so crazy because Mortal Kombat 11 is probably the best looking fighting game out there right now in terms of like visual fidelity of the faces. If there is a Marvel versus DC game, I would really want to play it, and I'm hoping it's announced sometime during E3 this weekend or next week, if it's even real.
I'm not like you where I will pre-order a game, all the exclusives, whatever. I would sell some stuff in this room and cut back on some comics to buy the ultimate whatever edition of that game is.
Sure. Yeah.
A Marvel versus DC. I would. That to me would be every fan, boy and girl's fantasy. To be able to fight Superman versus the Hulk. To bring it because what characters are going to be in it. You know you're going to have the Avengers. You know you're going to have the X-Men. You know you're going to have Justice League. You know you're going to have Teen Titans. But there's so many other characters you could bring in that we've seen in Injustice.
Yeah.
That you know would show up in a DC versus Marvel game.
Yeah.
It literally would be one of the. I think if it was done right, probably be one of the best-selling games of all time.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Because
it's not going to be exclusive to one console. It would. I don't know if it'd be cross-generation. I would like for it to be. And I'm one of the people who is like, no, screw the old generation. Show me what you can do. Like Ratchet and Clank is only scratch the surface of what these consoles do.
Yeah.
I would love for every console to be able to play that kind of game. So
if it's from NetherRealm Studios and Warner Brothers, I would probably say it's not cross generational, only because Mortal Kombat 11 was exclusive to Mortal Kombat 11 was PS4 and Xbox One, and then they did an upgrade for the next gen. But I think their games tend to kind of focus next gen and not go backwards. So I don't know.
That's something I didn't know that they were working on that. I know they were working on Mortal Kombat versus Injustice, but I didn't know that was in the pipeline. I'm really hoping. Kim from Chicago, the laptop is under there, so I'm reading your comments. As I watch the monitor, as I'm talking here, I'm like following right.
What's up, Avery?
Look, it's bad. While I'm was Avery in there?
Avery is now. He'll be up here in a second, I guess, once we see him if he pops up. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I have personally really excited. I want to see what comes up from Bethesda because I really, as much as I love Sony and buy all of their stuff, I really want to see someone push Sony and Sony Studios or PlayStation Studios as it's called now.
Yeah.
I really want to.
That was you outside?
Push them.
No. Okay.
That was Nick.
That was Nick?
Yeah.
So Leroy, apparently Nick was outside the TV. From this.
That's what. So okay. So yes. Everybody kept saying, "Is there a child under the TV?" And they kept saying,
"Yeah,
that there's somebody." And I was like, I thought they were talking to me because I kept looking down.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, there's somebody behind the monitor.
Yeah. So apparently Nick Jones was bored and decided to mess with us. That's great. Anyway, any parting thoughts? We're gonna keep this short, keep it moving.
Nothing. I'm glad we were able to do this. This lets me know that we can hopefully do this again.
Yeah.
If one of us is out. I don't know if I'll get an opportunity to do this next week. Next Friday, I'll try to see if I'll probably bring one of the laptops and see if I can.
Oh, you going on vacation?
This was fun.
Yeah.
Say what?
I said you going on vacation?
Yeah, this was just like.
And guess who has to fill in for him next Friday?
So.
Did you hear Avery said, and guess who has to fill in for him next Friday?
You, Negro, I know. That's why. Oh, Avery, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, so Sunday I invite you to.
You coming in too, Nick Jones?
Yeah. That's still the plan. I'm trying to come through.
Yeah, the reason why I didn't send you a formal invite because I didn't want you to actually take that day off, and then I have to work for my own son's birthday because I know how you do, and you would do something like that and be like, "Oh, my bad."
I wouldn't do that. I would still slide through for a little bit, then just head back to direct.
Yes, you would.
No, I wouldn't. I ain't gonna do you like that.
Y'all can discuss this off the air.
Avery, you ain't called me on vacation to come work for you one day?
That did.
I did that, but that was an emergency.
That did happen.
That was an emergency, though.
That did happen. I remember that.
Sure it was. Anyway, I'm glad we got to do this. What got you through the week?
Finishing up Mafia 3 on Avery's recommendation. Really loving that. I finished
Avery was
up.
the one who told us to get it.
Yeah, I finished. I am almost finished with Castlevania on Netflix. Really enjoying that, and that's about it. What about you?
These comics. I'm trying to clean this room. I really want to do a tour one day, like show. You should do like clean up your house and show like and do like a nerd because you have like a nerd fiefdom, and like you should start displaying your stuff. And Warframe.
Okay. Well, since we got these two in here, what got y'all through the week? So give you guys a heads up because Nick Jones and Avery are in here now. Every week we say what got us through the week, whether it's like nerd, pop culture, something that just made us happy that week. So, Nick Jones, what got you through the week?
Powerline.
Powerline always gets you through the week.
Power always there for me when I need them. They need to make a Disney Plus series off of Powerline.
Okay,
Bring
Avery.
Kevin Campbell back.
Avery, what got you through the week?
Some good food, resting, and yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's it. That helps you
Did
get
y'all talk about Avengers Campus at Disneyland?
We did not.
Should be on next week.
Woo!
Maybe it looks cool.
That
Looks
trailer
very cool.
looks fire.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We will see y'all next week or something. If not, Avery's welcome to come in if he wants to do this next week. If Leroy can't do it, so that's cool.
Oh yeah, Avery should do it.
Great. It's wonderful. So I'm gonna go shut this dumpster fire down. See y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.